Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Hooray! We're doing the thing. We are
doing it.
back outside, doing the thing.
Because the weather is phenomenal.
Oh my god, it's so good. And also when we're in chairs, we can be closer together and use only one microphone, and then it's easier for setup.
Yeah.
You guys, we're being so low-key for trying to not edit this episode at all this week. So let's do our intro.
Yeah.
Because you guys, we're tired.
We are.
We're tie right now, and so if we can just not do any editing, that would be amazing.
Amazing. We've just got a lot going on. We've got somebody who just finished writing a whole ass book.
She's done, you guys. She's getting read by beta readers. I got my first piece of feedback from one of my beta readers, and he was like, oh my god, I'm loving it so far, it's amazing. Which just like warms the cockles of my heart.
Yes.
Not that my beta readers have to tell me it's amazing, because if you think that there's a part that isn't, then like, tell me please.
Right.
Mostly I just need people to tell me if I have not explained a concept well enough that a person could use it from the book. So
yeah. I don't foresee that being an issue.
I don't either. But we were going to do our intro.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry. I was just excited.
So, hi beautiful humans. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Ashley. Welcome to Your Soul Welcome.
A podcast of healing out loud for humans spelunking through their deepest hearts.
Yeah.
Dude, I said I needed to practice the intro, but I don't think I do.
No.
It's in. It's locked into my heart.
It is.
So good.
Integrated.
Oh, I love that word. That's such a good word. Integrated. Sorry, Fred just went to go chase squirrels and birds, so it made me giggle.
It was cute.
Well, I guess I'm not sorry. Just pardon the interruption.
Pardon the distracted moment.
Yes. Always good to replace your sorries with what you actually mean.
Yeah.
Because sorrow is reserved for truly feeling sorrowful.
Mm-hmm.
I had a girl that I coached for public speaking do.
Oh, yes.
She did her persuasive speech on not saying you're sorry as
Oh,
often.
I love that.
It was so good. She wasn't even a senior. She was like a sophomore or a junior when she did that. It was good.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried replacing my I'm sorries sometimes with thank yous. Like instead of saying,
Yes.
I'm so sorry, I'm late, because I'm late quite often. It's thank you for waiting for me. But I still do say I'm sorry I'm late because I really don't intend on being late. It's just a happenstance.
Yes.
Because
You're working on it. You're getting there.
I am.
Yeah. It's true. I used to be chronically late also.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm still late. It's not very often anymore, though. Mostly that's because I set myself a half hour before I have to leave alarm.
Yeah.
A 15-minute before I have to leave alarm. And now I don't have to even set those as often because I have trained my brain to finally listen. But that took years.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah. So anyway, beautiful humans, our episode today is on duality. And this is a listener-requested episode. Sweet Becky requested us to do this like months and months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And we're so excited to finally be doing it. And thank you for your patience, Becky. And if you guys want to request an episode topic, you are so super welcome to do that. Our email address is yoursoulwelcome@gmail.com, and that is where you can send specific requests. You can also comment them like on YouTube or on Spotify, wherever you're watching this. However, I will let you know that our organizational skill preference is to have it in the email inbox.
Yes.
Because that's where we go if we are looking for our listener ideas in an semi-organized fashion.
Yes.
And actually, our listener Christina sent us a bunch of topic ideas that we need to discuss.
Yes.
Because I told her I was marking the email as unread so that we could talk about it, and then we have not yet.
Yes, I have looked at the list. I have looked.
Great, beautiful.
And then I also marked it again as unread so we could come back to it.
Okay.
So I've looked at it.
From us to you, Christina, we're going to talk about it
Yes,
soon.
we are. We are. We've just been a couple of busy bees.
It's true. Well, I feel like I've been peacefully busy. I know you have felt frazzled busy.
Yes. 'Tis the story of my life.
Until you rewrite it.
I'm working on it.
I know. I know you are, Boo Boo.
Yeah.
I just like to remind you that the narrative
Yes.
can be
Yes.
rewritten.
Yes. And it is being rewritten. It's been a fun frazzled. It's been a fun frazzled. That's new.
Yeah. Well, and we even talked about maybe making one of our future episodes on boundaries
Yes.
too, which so helps in helping you to feel like you're doing all the things you desire to do and feeling peaceful inside of doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries can be good.
Yes.
But today we're talking about duality.
Yes, absolutely. And I apologize if you're watching and you can see my nails. It's not blood or or anything gross. It's paint. I was working at the campground last couple days. We've been painting to spookify things for the spooky season, and
Well, and you've been painting for your
yes,
gallery show
yes,
tomorrow.
Yes, I have.
Ashley has her first art opening, gallery
Yes.
opening tomorrow night at
Yes.
Luba Carlson's studio,
Yes.
Artsy Creations.
It is.
So
It's their fall show. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be quite a few local artists, and I'm so excited to have 3 of my paintings from my Disco Fever Dream collection.
And this episode comes out the day of the opening, actually. Hopefully, if Kayla has her stuff together, because Ashley doesn't have time to edit. So if I have time to edit, it's coming out the day of the opening. So if you're listening to this the day the episode comes out, and you happen to be in Omaha, and you happen to want fun art plans for your Friday night, head to Artsy Creations, which is Luba Carlson Studio, and you'll get to see Ashley in person.
Yeah.
I'll be there for a bit, and you'll get to see some beautiful ass art.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Come on down.
Come on down to Artsy Town.
Yes! Please do.
Yes. So, and if I'm Superwoman, just like amazeballs, I will post the address of Artsy Creations in the description. That may or may not happen. Editing this may or may not happen.
This doesn't need much editing, but
Well,
it doesn't
let's hope so.
matter.
Yeah. We're manifesting that for us.
For sure. Anyways, duality.
Yes. Duality. So, Ashley, do you want to speak a little bit about what duality is about and how you know about the concept from DBT?
Yes. When I started DBT therapy, DBT is dialectical behavior therapy. And in DBT, they talk a lot about looking for the dialect when you are having big emotions or big feelings, big thoughts, to try and see the other side, the other person's perspective.
And by looking at the dialect, do you mean looking at the words that you're using?
Not necessarily the words that you're using, no. Just the other person's perspective or the other side of the issue or the emotion. So if, for example, you had a really good example that you were talking about.
Yes. So, for example, my dog Fred can annoy the bananas out of me. And at the same time that I am annoyed to heck, I can also love my dog and want what's best for him and be able to hold both of those truths at the same time.
Right.
Neither, my annoyance does not negate my love. My love does not negate my annoyance. Just because I love my dog, who is currently chewing on a stick like a goose right now.
Yep.
Just because I love him doesn't mean I can't also, like, discipline him by putting him on a leash when he needs reined in. And I think that that's really relatable as a pet parent, as a parent
Oh, yeah.
of human children. So that's kind of an example of what duality is. Being able to hold space for multiple truths or multiple emotions at the same time.
Right.
And it's such a useful concept. Before we go much further, I truly wanted to drill into why duality is such an important thing to bring into your life and to revel in being able to enjoy as a part of your life. Because being able to hold duality begins that path of walking through your life without judging yourself.
Yes.
And when we can move more and more into the space where we don't have to judge who we are, what we're feeling, and how we're feeling it, then that is space for self-love to grow.
Right.
That is weeding the garden, essentially, and allowing space for what you do want to grow. And yeah, that's duality allows for you to be able to grant yourself peace and grace. Yes, I had a dream last night where I was talking about duality and grace. I was literally dreaming of us filming this.
Wow.
Because we so often talk about that conversation of grace. I've got to give myself grace.
Yes.
And like, well, what does grace look like? It can look different for so many people, and a very useful tool to genuinely give yourself grace, cut yourself some slack, is through helping yourself, training yourself to live in duality.
Right. Absolutely. Like, I am tired and I need to rest. Instead of, I'm so lazy.
Yeah, reframing can be so helpful also.
And looking at the duality of those things, I can rest and I'm also still a good person.
Absolutely. Well, and being able to hold the duality of the fact that you're tempted to judge yourself and you desire to reframe that rest is necessary.
Right.
Rest is vital. So being able to lovingly hold space for the fact that you only judge yourself as lazy because you want to be productive and feel good about how you've spent your time, and you want to be able to see yourself as contributing to the life that you're creating. That's why you would be tempted down the path of thinking that you're lazy.
Right.
And so when you can see that that judgment of lazy is really only you just wanting to feel good and productive about your life, and you can hold that next to the duality of, and also rest makes me feel good about my life. You begin to find more space to nestle into your life in a peaceful way. And I think that's super important. Especially, I'm so glad you mentioned that laziness wound, because being able to integrate rest into your life can make the difference between leading a fun-packed schedule with peace and a fun-packed schedule with busy, frantic hecticness.
Yes.
And rest was a lesson I had to learn when I had long COVID, because I literally was required to rest.
Right.
Like, I couldn't not rest.
Yes.
And that was hard to go through.
Yeah.
It really forced me to look at my worth beyond the scope of productivity, beyond the scope of a to-do list, and beyond the scope of what I've accomplished that day.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that many people can receive help from.
Yeah.
In looking at that differently.
Yeah.
Because some memory just popped up, maybe on Facebook, maybe I saw it. You know how, like, your iPhone will, like, pop weird memories at very strange times? It may have been one of those. But it was someone telling me that I'm worthy just by being myself.
Worthy. The word of the day. Worthy.
Yes!
I don't know if you can see it or if the microphone's in the way, but my shirt, that's the word on my shirt. Worthy.
Yes. And thank you for describing it for the people listening and not watching.
Yes.
So, yeah. The from duality also gets to come work on healing your worthiness wound also. So that's why I think duality is such an important concept to talk about, because it allows you to, yeah, just give yourself grace, hold multiple truths, expand your definitions of how you get to see yourself.
Yeah.
And that's fucking important as shit.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once you start to work on those things, it's so much easier to find duality in your interactions and feelings with the people you're in relationships with.
Oh, for sure.
Like, in those interactions with your kids, in the interactions with your partners or your friends, coworkers, things like that. And, oh, Fred.
I think it's okay.
Well, he bumped the thing, so I don't know if you're still in frame, but
I'll lean.
okay. But I know that it has helped me to have a lot more grace too for other people in my life.
Yeah, grace for you and grace for them.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you really realize that, like, yes, I may be feeling extremely this way, but I can fully understand that what they're saying, they are fully believing and saying and feeling that way. And that's not wrong. Because whereas I think before I fully understood, before I went through DBT and before I really understood a lot of things, I think I went through a lot of my life thinking, like, when I would have a lot of big feelings, that, like, I would have those feelings and that the other person who was wrong, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm having my big feelings because I'm right, and
There's no space for their truth or
Right.
their experience.
right.
Yeah, because I mean, for example, there's a really important human in my life who loves to explain things exactly the way that they want them done. And to me, prior to learning many of the lessons that I've learned, that would make me feel like that person thought that I was stupid or
Right.
incapable, or like, who do they think that I am, that I'm so stupid that I don't know how to do XYZ thing that they were explaining to me. Like, how do they see me like that?
Right.
And I would get so wrapped up in that narrative.
Yeah.
And also, it can be true that I know that I am intelligent, and I know that for that person, they need to explain that thing.
Yes.
It's a need that they have, and that has nothing to do with me.
Right.
And when I can hold space for their truth and my truth at the same time, it gets to be a little frictionless. I'm not saying entirely frictionless, but more so,
Right.
because I understand that that is a process, a cycle that that person feels the need to complete.
Right.
And since I cannot control their behavior,
Right.
because I don't get to control the
Yes.
behavior of other humans, we don't get to do that.
Right.
We might want to, but we don't
Right.
get to.
Right.
If I desire a frictionless experience, then what I have to do is change how I see the situation.
Right.
And duality can be a helpful tool in that, especially when you are, in those situations where you know that you can't change them, but you can certainly change you and how you see things.
Absolutely.
And that has made my relationship with this person a lot easier. And I don't know if it feels easier to them or just easier to me.
Right.
But I know that the result is more peace in my life.
Yes.
And that matters, because I am all about living a peaceful fucking life.
Yes. Cheers to that.
Karma coffee, cheers.
Yay. You said you tried some of the things off their fall menu. What did you
Holy
have?
shit, their fall menu is so good. Okay, the first thing I tried was this campfire tea latte, I think. And it's got like a little bit of cayenne in it. So it finishes each swallow with like a little kick.
Ooh!
Yeah. It was a very interesting drink. I don't know that that's going to be the one that I chronically order this month. Because I always choose one that I'm like, this is my jam this month.
Yeah.
The one that's my jam this month is going to be their apple almond tea latte. Holy shit, it's so good. Mm-hmm. You guys, get to Karma Coffee, order yourself that apple almond tea latte. It's the bottom one on their fall menu chalkboard. Jesus tits, it's so good. I don't know if that's how Tracy wants me to speak about the Karma Coffee sponsorship, but that's how I feel about it.
Be yourself. That's what.
That's true.
You know,
that is what Tracy would say.
Yeah, that's what she wants.
Yes.
So, there's a matcha one that sounded amazing.
That's the one that Kylie made. Kylie made the matcha one. I have not tried it yet. I told her that I would try it this month, though.
Kylie, I'm pumped and I'm ready for it and I'm coming for it. I'm gonna be there soon.
Yes.
I'm gonna try it. I'm excited about it. So excited.
I know. And what was the other one that I tried? It was Danny's drink. Danny's one of the other baristas. He's amazing. What was it?
Was it the chai one?
I think it was.
I want to try the chai one too.
Yeah. No, wait. No, his was caffeinated. His had espresso in it. Do you have your phone?
Yeah.
Will you pull up the fall menu? Like, go to Karma Coffee's page?
Absolutely, I will. You know I will.
Well, because I'll spend 95 million trillion years talking about how delicious the bevies are at Karma, because they're just so good. It's nice, you guys, to have, like, the most natural of sponsorships.
Okay, I've got it.
You've got it?
Sweater Weather Cold Brew Latte.
I think that was his. Yeah.
House brewed cold brew, milk, pumpkin, maple, and nutmeg.
No,
Yum.
his was the salted caramel shaken espresso.
That sounds so good. Espresso, caramel, salt, and ice shaken, poured, then topped with milk. Ooh, yum.
Oh my god, it was very good.
And
not overly sweet, which I love.
Here's the matcha. Pumpkin spice matcha tea latte. Pumpkin spice, unsweet culinary grade matcha, and milk of choice topped with cinnamon.
I bet it's going to be so good. I just have reservations on matcha. But I will try it.
Is at the bottom it says try in a flight. Don't mind if I do.
They're little flights. Okay, I'm going to read my favorite one.
Yes.
In like the sexiest voice ever.
Do it.
Almond Apple Delight Tea Latte. Ooh. Almond apple tea, almond and apple syrups. It's best with almond milk. Yeah. And they're not wrong. It's so fucking good.
Can we wrap this up soon? So can we just go to Karma now?
No, there's more to talk about with
I
Duality.
I know there is.
Yeah, so anyway, their fall menu dropped. Get on out to Karma Coffee. It's fucking delicious. And everybody there is just so nice.
Yes.
Like I was saying, it's nice to have the most natural sponsorship that makes so much sense for us. Because I love a tea latte. And I fucking love Tracy. She's so sweet. And all the staff there is so nice. Also, shout out Danny if you're finally listening. He said he was going to listen like so many times.
Yay. Well, and we know Kylie's listening. Love you, Kylie.
Love you, boo-boo. Yeah. So anyway, Duality allows you to be able to have grace for yourself, grace for your relationships with other people, and a little bit more space to create peace. And that's why it's fucking important.
I've got another example.
Yeah.
For example, these two jars right here that our beverages are in. This beautiful cup, this beautiful jar right here is a jar that is very important and special to Kayla.
It is. It's my grandma's jar. And my grandma is dead now, so...
And this jar is not Kayla's grandma's jar. They are both ball jars.
It's true.
And to me, and my brain, they are the exact same jar. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So every time I come over, I say, is this your grandma's jar? I don't want to drink out of your grandma's jar, because at one point in time, Kayla had 2 grandma jars. And one jar broke. I did not break that jar.
My husband broke that jar. I forgave him because I love him
Yes,
more than I needed a glass jar.
correct. But I...
Duality again.
Duality again.
Was sad, also forgave him.
Yes. But I know how important the jars are to Kayla because I would also feel this very similarly. Mm-hmm. And I do not want to have anxiety while holding a glass jar, trying not to break the jar, right? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want you to have that anxiety either.
Yes, thank you. So every time she hands me a jar, I'm like, is that your grandma's jar? And she says, no, I'm not going to hand you my grandma's jar. I'm not going to give you my grandma's jar. I know you have the
I have told you.
Yes. But and I'm like, I will still ask you every time. And she's like, it has a wide mouth. It doesn't even look like my grandma's jar. Look it.
Well, yeah, there's the skinny mouth and then the wide mouth. Those of you listening, sorry you can't see, but if you're familiar with ball jars, you know.
This one has not grandma's jar, has a wide mouth. It even says wide mouth on it.
Well, because vintage jars, they didn't make wide mouth jars back in the dilly day.
So I just always ask. And just this morning I told Kayla, I was like, I will probably still ask you every single time you go to hand me a jar. And she's like, or you could trust me. And I was like, yes, I could. But I might want to double check just to be safe. And I think that this is an example of where, yes, I can look at it. I can read wide mouth jar and I can look at the jar and I can know that she has told me the wide mouth jar is not grandma's jar. And I know that in my brain today. And I will remember that probably next time I come. But I will be like, oh, I remember something about the wide mouth jar. Was the wide mouth jar grandma's jar? Or was that the one I'm supposed to drink out of? I will remember wide mouth jar.
Or you could trust me that I'm handing you the one
Yes.
that I know you don't want.
Yes.
Or want.
Yes. If you hand it to me specifically, yes. But if I go to grab one out of the cupboard.
That is, yeah, please, by all
Yes.
means ask
Yes.
if you go to the cupboard and grab your own.
Yes.
But if I'm handing it to you,
Yes.
I promise you it is Ashley approved.
Beautiful. And that I can trust.
Great. Duality. Her truth gets to exist. My truth gets to exist.
And I won't break grandma's jar.
Yay. Hooray.
Yay. Hooray. See?
And I get to use grandma's jar. Yay. You guys, also, I called my grandma Banana Nana, and I just needed you to know that.
I love that. I call Lily Nana sometimes.
Oh, that's cute. Yay. So anyway, yeah, it allows you to negotiate things that could potentially be a conflict with more peace. Because in theory, I could get really annoyed with Ashley asking me every single fucking time.
Yeah, for sure.
Every time. But, like, I'm not going to because I know it's your anxiety that makes you ask that question.
Yes.
Similar thing that I was talking to about that
Yeah.
person who's important to me.
Yes.
You sometimes need to ask the question,
Yes.
and I can't control whether or not you ask the question,
Right.
but I can control how I feel about that by trying to see your perspective, by trying to hold the dual truths.
Right. And knowing that it's just that I understand how important it is to you, and it's out of love for you that I don't want to break your jar. Like, it's not because I'm trying to be annoying and controlling or whatever. It's that I care about you and I don't want to cause you hurt feelings.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. You're so kind. Yeah. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
So, anywhoozle,
Back to
multiple
coffee.
examples about why duality can be so helpful. So then, I guess we already started kind of talking about how duality can look in our lives.
Yeah.
And how it can be useful. I also want to speak to how the concept of duality can help you get through, like, really fucking hard times.
Oh, yeah.
Because the duality of knowing that pain only exists because pleasure also exists,
Oh, yeah.
I think is an important part of the conversation. And you can see it really effectively in perhaps times of grief.
Mm-hmm.
I know that in movies it's been portrayed, and in my own life it has played out, that when I am deep in grief, I feel the need to, like, physically connect with my partner. Like, and it can sound really fucked up that, like, oh, my libido goes up when I'm in grief. Like, I want to fuck my husband when I'm sad as shit. Like, that can be a temptation to judge yourself. Like, who are you to want to enjoy yourself when you are supposed to be sad? As if sad is the only thing that you could feel when you are feeling sad feelings.
Okay.
And that's just not how life has to be.
Right.
It doesn't have to be, I am in grief, I can only experience sadness. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I would make the argument that that shouldn't be how it is.
No.
Because otherwise you're invited into a spiral that can be very hard to get yourself out of.
Right.
And there can be many conversations had about how, you know, you feel deserving of sadness and grief and hardship.
Right.
And that also doesn't have to be how it is.
Right.
Pleasure and pain get to exist at the same time. Yes. And sometimes it's just nice to have a reminder that life can also be good.
Yes.
Life gets to be good and bad at the same time.
Right. And I think there is, speaking to grief specifically, I think that, you know, there has been a turn towards, you know, speaking deep grief, like when you're losing people, a turn towards, instead of just like funerals and receptions and things, towards a celebration of life. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a beautiful example of duality.
Right. And I know a few of my grandparents have passed, and our whole family really comes together there at the end. And it is sad. We sit and we share sorrow, for sure. But we also reminisce and we share stories of joy and humor. Oh my gosh, so much. I think most of the things that we share during that time are stories of humor, and because we want to bring light to what feels like a dark time. We want to bring up examples of the light.
Absolutely.
Because it just, as a reminder that in that darkness, like, there is a lot of lights. There is a lot of light still, and there has been, and there will be after the darkness.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that grief is where I have very much seen duality play out in a way that invites more peace for me, for sure.
Yeah.
I had another example where I was going to change the topic from grief, but it wandered away.
Oh, I'm so sorry if I distracted you.
No, you did not. Well, I distracted myself because while you were speaking, I was thinking about this book that I read by Naomi Novik.
Okay.
It's specifically called The Golden Enclaves. It's the third book in a series. And there's this moment where a character says sometimes people need to be reminded that they can feel good in their bodies when they're experiencing grief.
Oh,
That is not a direct quote. That is a paraphrase for sure. But like, and it was specifically addressing like sex when you are experiencing grief. And it just feels really important.
Yeah.
And maybe that's only important to me. Maybe that was only like a judgment that was invited into my life. But chances are pretty good that if I have been tempted to judge myself specifically for that, other people listening and watching have also.
Yes.
So
that could very well be true.
Yeah.
I have sex when I am grieving also.
That is good to know.
I don't think that I have necessarily judged myself.
I love that for you.
But
I'm glad that you haven't.
But I feel like, I am
You have many different
I am-
philosophies and experiences than I have had.
Yes, correct.
In many regards.
Yes. we may get into that someday. We'll probably get into that someday.
Sounds
We're
great.
likely going to get into that someday. Not
Okay.
today. Probably.
It's your boundary, boo-boo. You do
It's
you.
not a duality conversation, I
It
don't
is
think.
not really a duality conversation.
I mean, there's a
no.
lot of pain and pleasure, but...
I mean, that's true. That is literally a part of duality.
yeah.
Um,
Anyways.
yeah, so there's that. Coo.
I don't notice that my sex drive increases at that time. I feel like my sex drive is pretty high and just stays pretty high. So, I just... Anyways.
Samesies.
Yep. But, yeah, so don't judge yourself if you do, judge yourself, try to give yourself some grace.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. So, duality gets to help in all sorts of ways. I need to let go of the fact that there was something else that I wanted to say, because it's either meant for now or it isn't.
Yes.
So, it's okay. I'll trust in the divine timing of my brain.
Oh, I can speak to another story on grief. And, yes, great choice. Thank you.
I was tired of wondering if I needed to keep reading.
Thank you for doing that. When my grandma was on hospice and in her final phase of life, my grandma Judy, the matriarch, right, of the family, and she was. We would go out to her house, all of us grandkids and just anybody and everybody, and the grandkids and the great grandkids would. And I remember the day she passed away in kind of the middle of the night, but I remember the day that was before the night that she passed. We were all out there, and all of the great grands were sledding all day.
Oh.
And I have pictures of them on that day, and they were, their faces all red, like wind-chapped faces, and I have pictures of them coming in and just laying on the floor in piles, and it's those moments too where you see them bonding, you see them making those bonds and those connections and those things that I remember those moments with my cousins being young. And it's really beautiful, and you really see it come kind of full circle. And you don't necessarily realize that. You definitely don't realize that when you are the kid making out there, being on the sledding hill,
right,
coming in or climbing in the trees, whatever, out at great grandma's house, and until you're an adult and looking back, and it's just, it is, looking at it come full circle, it's really kind of special. It's sad to lose.
Yeah.
It is very sad, and it's definitely a loss, but
well, it's and not but.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's an important, actually, dialectical or really specific linguistic aspect to duality.
Yes.
It is and not but.
The magical power of and.
Correct. It's so important because the power of the word and allows for both truths.
Yes.
It's not I'm anxious about the jar and I love you, but it's and.
Yeah.
It gets to be and.
Yeah.
The power of and is useful in so many situations. It's not I would love to go, but I can't.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to whatever magical party you invited me to, and also I have this prior commitment.
Yeah.
So your one truth does not get to undermine the other truth. And the word but is a contradictory word.
Yes.
The word but immediately means well, no, fuck that thing, this other thing instead. Mm-hmm. And the word and is inclusive of two things,
right,
or multiple things. Mm-hmm. And that's why you'll hear me say the word and
yes,
so many times.
Yes.
If you are a committed listener, you
yes,
may have noticed about me already.
Yes, I even drew a magical little peach into a little sticker that we were going to write.
But an and on.
Kayla taught me the magical power of but.
Mm-hmm. But and. Well,
but
the magical.
And yet.
Yeah, but and yet. And. Because but can be very.
Or and.
Huh?
I don't remember. But anyway, I don't know. The peach but.
Well, the peach was for the word. Okay.
I don't remember.
So but can be a magical phrase when you are trying to correct the thoughts in your head.
Okay.
That's the context in which you learned it.
Okay.
So, but can be incredibly powerful. And also the word and can be incredibly powerful.
Yes.
And being mindful of when you're choosing to use each of them can be very helpful.
Yes.
In how you allow yourself to interact with yourself. It all comes back to your relationship with yourself. 'Cause once you make that fucking juicy, once you make yourself fully in love with you, then everything in your whole life gets to change.
Here's a hot take.
Yeah?
I think the whole time you're in love with yourself.
You are.
I think you just forget, or a part of you chooses to be like, no, fuck that noise. Mm-hmm. And then that part of you that's in love with you feels so heartbroken that you have abandoned yourself. Mm-hmm. And then when you remember, right, that you love yourself.
Yeah, I'm so
My
glad.
goodness.
I'm glad you're having this realization.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's why my program is called Homecoming.
Yes.
Because you start out fucking loving yourself.
Yeah, you do.
So to come home to that truth is beautiful.
Yeah.
And
so maybe not a hot take, maybe just the take.
No, it gets to be your hot take when you realize it.
Okay, great.
Because that moment of realization is important.
Oh, great.
Because I could see it land.
Yeah.
Like in your face, I could see it land for you. And that's the beauty of listening to things and re-listening to things and taking in perspectives in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Because then you finally get to the day where a concept you've heard many times before lands in your body.
Yeah.
The understanding gets to be a part of your embodiment of who you are.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that for you.
Yeah.
To have that realization that you are only just coming home to yourself is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
You guys saw it and listened to it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. You did it, Big Bird.
Yeah.
Because, seriously.
Yeah.
That is so important.
Yeah.
To be able to feel that you are only just remembering is important.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have realized that you're only just remembering and coming home to what used to be true does not mean that the years that you spent in a cycle of self-hate or self-abandonment, that doesn't mean that you weren't trying to love yourself then also. It's just that your ways in which you allowed yourself to love yourself got warped by other people's opinions, by other people's judgments, by ideals that you adopted in your mindset when you were between the ages of 0 to 7 years old, when you don't have a conscious critical faculty to be able to judge whether or not you should believe something. So that doesn't undermine your self-love. Realizing that you have engaged in self-abandonment and self-hate, or self-harm for that matter,
Right.
does not undermine that you were always trying to love yourself this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's beautiful. And I was just editing a chapter in my book, because I get to say that now, because my whole book is written. Oh, God, that makes me so happy.
Me too.
Yeah. What was the chapter I was just going to say? I was just editing the chapter in my book, and it was talking about coming home to yourself, remembrance. Oh, it was talking about being tempted to judge the ways in which you have engaged with yourself in the past that are like little temptations to see it as negative,
Oh, yeah?
and how a way in which you can give yourself grace is to be able to see, yes, that was my behavior, and also the duality is that I can backtrack to see how it was truly just an act of self-love,
Right.
just in a warped
Yeah.
way.
Right. Right.
Buy the book if you want more on that, because
I mean, that's basically what the Peace Talks method
It is.
tells me every time.
what it is. Oh my God, how weird is that? It's almost like I have things to help you practice what I preach. Yeah, exactly. So when you get to live in that place where you know that your own self-love, your own sense of self has been there this whole time, it just kind of looked a little fucky, like you were
Yeah.
looking in like a haunted house warped mirror. What are those
Yeah.
called? Funhouse mirrors?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it just got a little warped, like you were looking in a funhouse mirror. You were still trying to love yourself. That's what it was. So it was this segment of the book where, why does the universe keep taking the words right out of my brain?
Maybe you're not supposed to say it. You guys need to buy the book when it comes out and read it.
That's so weird. Because it feels very different from when...
Nope, it happened twice. Let it go.
No, I know. I'm
Okay.
just saying, my past experience with this was when I had long COVID and, like, my brain fog would swoop in, but this just feels very different.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll just trust the universe.
Buy the book.
Yeah, buy my book, you guys. It's, gonna be out soon. My beta readers are supposed to get back to me within a week or two. So, then after I get that feedback... Well, in the meantime, I'll be building the sales page for it to launch it. So as soon as I get feedback, and if no one tells me that there are, like, major glaring things that don't make sense, then it'll be published by the end of October. So there's that. Thanks for making
so
tea kettle noises and
You're
excitement.
welcome. I'm a
Yeah.
little teapot.
You are a little teapot.
I am. Maybe that's what I should be for Halloween.
I love that for you. I love that for you so much.
Cute. I can make Max chip.
Oh my gosh. What's Lily gonna be? Whatever she wants to be?
Yep.
Okay.
She
That's
keeps
cute.
going back and forth. There's a fly on the thing.
Oh, well, if you guys see a fly, there's a fly.
You
Whatever.
might get some real close-up footage of a fly. She has not
Can't
decided.
edit the fly out. So
she
it is
hasn't
what it is.
decided if she wants to go trick-or-treating or not.
Oh, I get you.
Max wants to go as Zelda.
Oh, fun.
Well, no, not Zelda. I'm so sorry. Link.
Oh, yeah. Legend of Zelda, but the character's Link. Yes, I knew that.
Zelda is the princess.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, I like that for him. I can see that too, honestly.
Yeah. My brother has the sword and the shield, so I just need to find the costume. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Great.
Love that.
Yeah, me too.
It's an easy costume. Because you really just need, like, what, green clothes and the hat?
Yep.
Sold.
I can make that little hat.
You really can.
Yeah.
And easily, too. Sorry if you're not a Legend of Zelda fan and you have no idea what Link looks like. Green clothes and a pointy hat.
Yeah.
Sword, shield.
Yeah. Pointy ears, too. He's like a little elf, I think.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true. Don't you have pointy ears, though, already? But would they fit his tiny ears?
Believe it or not, I do not have pointy ears.
You really don't?
I really don't.
Who even are you?
I know, right?
Just kidding.
No, Lily and I looked. Like, the last 2 times we were at a place that had pointy ears, we almost bought some, but they were very expensive, so I was going to just order some off the internet.
Yeah, just energetically send your money to Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, Amy.
Will do.
If you guys didn't know, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, Amy, gets 4% of the Amazon profits, and she donates almost all of it to charity because it's an astronomical amount of money, and what is she going to do with it? She's not going to be a fuckface like Jeff, so
Yeah.
I'll just lay out all my feelings on Jeff Bezos. Anyway, if ever I have to buy something from Amazon,
Is there duality there about Jeff
energetically-
Bezos? Can you find some duality about Jeff Bezos?
Like, I mean, yes, in answer to your question. I'm not certain in what context you have in mind.
I don't really know.
Like, I mean, do I believe that Jeff Bezos has the capacity to turn over a new leaf and, like, change the world? Sure.
Please.
That would be awesome. I think every single human person has the capacity for change. Because
Yes.
I've changed so much in my life that
Yes.
if it's possible for me, it's fucking possible for other people. I'm not special.
You are special.
I mean, I am, but also the ability to change is not special. The ability to create change in your own life is not special. It might take hard work and devotion. And many people are unwilling to make that decision. But it's still a decision that everyone can make. It's not a special decision.
Yeah.
Is that helpful? That's
Yes.
that's my hot duality take on Jeff Bezos
I
today.
love it. I love it. That was perfect.
Great.
Perfection.
I'm very much enjoying just watching Fred roam
Yeah.
around the backyard.
Oh, I keep hearing a...
Little blue jay and an
No.
angry squirrel.
Yep, that one.
I know. There was an angry squirrel talking when you were speaking of grief and like very serious things, and it was a little hard to pay attention.
That's funny.
I was like, she's talking about a serious topic. Do not get distracted by the angry squirrel, Kayla.
You did a great job.
Hey, thanks. Yeah.
Anything else on duality?
I don't think so. I think we said the words.
Yeah. We were really succinct
And concise.
and concise.
To the point. And the dogs are starting to be noodles, so now sounds like a good time to perhaps end the episode,
Yeah.
have a little break, and then film the next one.
Yes.
Because we didn't film last week.
We took a break.
We said that we were tired this week. We were exhausted last week. So we practiced what we preached. We did not film an episode for the sake of having to film an episode. We just let it go.
I've been watching
care of
so much
ourselves.
Hamilton. I've not been watching. I've been listening to so much Hamilton. I've been listening to show tunes in my car because I've been driving a lot lately. My work is real
Take a
far away.
break.
Yes, that's what's in my head right now.
Come
Take a break.
away with us for the summer.
Let's go upstate.
Eliza, I've got so much on my plate. Rest, motherfucker.
Yeah. Maybe you wouldn't have gotten so much trouble.
Yeah, maybe if Hamilton had made space for rest and duality, I don't think Alexander could handle the capacity of duality.
Alexander. Don't forget to write.
My God. So many poor life choices.
For real.
Because I've been really tempted to sing, why do you write like you're running out of time? When I'm writing,
Yeah.
because I'm just like, For those of you listening, I'm making gestures of typing.
Kind of.
Well, this is my compiling gesture.
Oh, okay.
This is my typing gesture. This is my I'm putting things together
Okay,
gesture.
okay.
I'm taking things from other places and putting them in one place.
All right.
But I'm not running out of time. But there's not very many songs about writing.
That's true. Yet.
Yet.
A magical power of yet.
So true. Manifest more songs about writing.
Or write them yourself.
Yeah. We know I do.
Don't forget to write. Anyways,
Yeah. All right.
love you.
Love you. Bye.
Mwah! I'm so glad I moved my cup because this little leaf would have landed right in it.